Today I'm going to be making clementine marmalade. For every pound of fruit, you'll need 2 pints of water and 2 pounds of sugar. You can use ordinary sugar, but if you're using ordinary sugar, you will need the juice of 2 lemons to go with the fruit. Otherwise, use preserving sugar, but don't use jam sugar, it will make too hard a set. The first job is to halve the clementines and squeeze out all the juice. Don't throw anything away at this point. We need the peel to make peel for the marmalade, and we need all the pith and the odd bits and pieces to boil in with it. Once you've squeezed all the juice out of the clementines, pick all the innards out and keep those for later. I've scalded a disposable cloth that I'm keeping all the pips and the innards of the clementines in, and then I've got clean shells ready to cook later. Don't worry about the white pith on the inside of the orange peel. All we're trying to get is the fleshy pieces on inside with the skin on them. We're keeping all of this, which will be tied up in the cloth, to boil with the marmalade, which will provide the setting agent that we need. I've used 3 pounds of clementine, so I've put the clean shells in 6 pints of water. This is all my pith and bits and pieces and pips and what have you inside a cloth that I'm also putting into the water. And if you're using ordinary sugar, you need to add your lemon juice at this point as well. Bring it all to the boil and boil gently for about 30 to 45 minutes until the peel is nice and soft. My peel's all boiled now and nicely softened, and I've left it overnight to make sure it's cool enough to handle. The first thing I'm going to do is squeeze as much juice out of my bag of pith and pips as I possibly can. Next, I'm going to chop up the peel to put in the marmalade. And it's literally a matter of personal taste how you chop it, whether you like thick or thin shreds of orange in your marmalade. I've mixed the chopped peel back with the juice that came from the boiling of the rinds yesterday. And now I've weighed it because we need to match it pound for pound with sugar. It's 2.5 kilos. So to that, I'm going to add 2.5 kilos of sugar. I always find it's easier to dissolve the sugar in a warm liquid. So I'm heating all that up first, then I'll take it off the heat while I stir the sugar in. And then still off the heat, just stir until you can't feel any gritty bits anywhere in the pan. Once the sugar's dissolved, put the pan back on the heat and bring the mixture up to a rapid boil. Boil rapidly for 10 minutes and then check for a set. If you have a jam thermometer, that should happen at 150 degrees, but don't worry if you haven't. If you place a saucer in the fridge or freezer till it's very cold, once you think your marmalade has set, put a teaspoonful on and swirl it around. Once that test spoonful has cooled down, just push it along. If it wrinkles, you've got a set. If it doesn't, put back on the boil for another 2 or 3 minutes and try again. Make sure it's a good rolling boil, that you've got bubbles all over the surface, but do keep an eye on it because as the temperature increases, it may well rise to the top of the pot. The smell of the clementines is heavenly. The marmalade's now finished cooking and I've left it to cool a little while so it's a bit easier to handle. All that's left is to put it in the pots. Thanks for watching again. Hope you've enjoyed seeing marmalade made and hope you'll give it a go. It really is delicious.